Hello, sports fans. This just goes on. Harvey, put it down. This goes on. What?
I didn't want you to be confused.
I'm not confused. This goes on all the time. You're wasting time. First of all, we have a guest today. Harvey Rosenblatt. That's an alias.
That's an alias.
Harvey Atkins, not related to Chet.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. No, thank you. Chip and Dale. This is Niki. Niki right here. Take a bow, Niki.
I can't bend that far anymore.
Right. And this is Gino. Gino, stand up and show him how much weight you lost.
Oh, boy.
Like, you want me to help you?
No, I don't need help.
You're going to pull the mic out?
No, I go slow.
I got it.
Okay.
There he is. Look at that. Turn sideways.
He's looking really good, isn't he?
Turn sideways.
He lost his head.
It's not because my wife put me on a diet. It's because the doctor put me on a diet. All right.
He did?
Yeah.
Wise ass.
He kept me in the hospital for 3.5 days with no food.
For what? No food? Except for the pizza that came in. All right,
No
give me one of
pizza.
those ta-da booms. All right. Or not. Okay. Now, we're going to open up the show today with a brilliant interview by moi. And it's with we have an audience today, actually, too. We have, what's her name again? Lorraine Atkins. Mary Cohen. Am I related to you?
Yes.
They're booing. We have, and we have Pam Fratelloni. I know I
Two T and
two T's to a. Then we have Gracie Fratelloni, who's a little Chihuahua, who's so cute, he'll steal your heart. Now the interview is with Jason Hansford, who's a senior meteorologist, forecaster, and climatologist at the National Weather Service office in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is up in the northwest section of Louisiana. Take it away, Jason. Okay, I'm speaking with Jason Hansford. Right? Right, okay, good. Jason is a senior psychiatrist, a senior forecaster, and the local psychologist, the local climatologist, right?
Correct.
And you're in Shreveport, Louisiana, right? Is that how they pronounce
Yes, sir.
it?
Yeah, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana, I'm sorry. And you're in the northwest part of the state.
Correct. We're only about 15 miles from the Texas border.
I'm sorry. And you guys forecast for 48 counties and parishes?
Correct.
And you forecast for East Texas, a little bit of Arkansas, right?
Yeah, southwest Arkansas.
One place in Oklahoma.
One county in Oklahoma.
And then in Louisiana, of course.
Yes, much of North Louisiana.
Is there any schools, college in Shreveport?
Yes, we have LSU Shreveport, which is a 4-year accredited college
yes,
here.
And the real one's down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The main campus is down.
Did I say the real one? I'm sorry.
Main campus is down in Baton Rouge, but enrollment, you've got 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 students here at LSU Shreveport. So yeah, I mean it's mainly a commuter college, but it does foster a fairly large enrollment.
You have your own football team?
No, we don't.
I wanted to play football in high school, but fortunately my high school didn't have a football team. You know? All right, so let's get to, so you, when does spring arrive in Shreveport?
Well, typically spring arrives here in Shreveport, North Louisiana, and really much of the Arklatex around the month of April, although we do see periods of spring-like temperatures even as early as January, February, and even March. But in fact, we fostered above normal temperatures during the month of March this year. But whereas April, we actually were tied for 7th coolest April on record here locally. So, but typically, springtime conditions really begin to ramp up as we move into the month of April.
We had mid-70s in February. March was below normal, so was April.
Yeah.
Then we gone above normal since April 1st. So now, at dew points and measure, for the people who don't go to meteorology class, the dew points measure the moisture in the air expressed as a temperature. So what's the highest, correct me if I'm wrong here now, what's the highest, I don't have a BS and an MS in meteorology for nothing, yeah. Although sometimes I wonder, what is the highest dew point ever recorded in Shreveport, 78?
Actually, a little higher than that. I know a couple years ago we got up to 79 back in 2016, but there's been a few occasions though where we've actually gotten up with dew points around 81, 82 degrees. Although we don't really specifically keep records for highest dew points in this area, but I've seen a couple of occasions there in the lower 80s here locally.
Delightful.
Yes, very.
Take a bar of soap and lather up. You know, all right. So, what's the highest and lowest temperature ever recorded?
Well, the highest temperature here locally has been 110 degrees. That was set back on August the 18th of 1909.
That's before global warming. What the heck? How did that happen?
Now contrast that to our lowest all-time record low temperature here locally of 5 below zero. That was reported back February the 12th of 1899. So quite a swing in temperatures there.
What, somebody forgot to calibrate the thermometer on 110? How did they get that hot?
Depends if it's a drought year or not. We had a real big drought back in 2011. Actually, it was a 2-year drought, where we observed actually 2 temperatures of 109 degrees. So 2 instances of 109 degree temperatures here locally. But in order for temperatures to get that hot, our dew points have to kind of mix down pretty low.
Yeah.
And so, but given the very dry vegetation and soil moisture that we had in place that year, 2011, we actually surpassed 100 degrees on 63 days during that year. So, I mean, we're looking at over 2 months of 100 degree temperatures or hotter during the summer of 2011. So by far, that shattered our all-time record of 47 days of 100 degree temperature.
May I say that's disgusting weather?
It was. That was a long and brutal summer.
What were the low temperatures at night? 89 or something?
Not quite, but I mean, on most occasions we were briefly falling below 80 degrees.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, basically upper 70s just about every night.
Even the crocodiles, or whatever. What do you have there? Crocodiles, alligators?
Alligators.
And they were going, jeez.
Yeah, I think they were breaking a sweat too.
They were snorkeling. Okay. What's the frequency? I know you're inland, but what's the frequency of occurrence of hurricanes?
Yeah. Shreveport, specifically, it lies about 200 miles inland off the Gulf of Mexico coast. So typically, frequencies of tropical systems impacting area probably on average maybe once every several years, although we've only had a handful of occasions really in the last 8 years in which we've seen tropical systems impact our area here locally. Now, we did have Hurricane Rita back in early September of 2005, which came up Sabine Pass along the Texas and Louisiana border. And we actually observed hurricane force winds just south of Shreveport across parts of deep East Texas and west central Louisiana, where we had persistent gusts in excess of hurricane force, 75, 80 plus miles an hour across those areas. Here locally, I think we gusted to just under 60 miles an hour, so still strong tropical storm force winds. But in really most occasions, by the time they move inland across much of the Arklatex, we do see a broader area of tropical storm force winds affect much of our region.
But you get the heavy rain, though.
Oh yeah, we do get heavy rain, also some flooding, and even some isolated tornadoes on the east side of the center. And
switching to winter, what's the highest snow depth you ever had?
Well, okay, you'll have to go all the way back to 1929 in order to get some pretty significant snows. And in that instance, it was actually December 21st and 22nd, 1929, where we actually recorded 11 inches of snow here in Shreveport. And believe it or not, we still kept trace amounts of snow on the ground even through Christmas morning of that year. But we've had a couple of other instances where we've had trace amounts of snow or ice here locally, but really not much in the way of measurable snow here locally on Christmas Day.
I guess the atmosphere was depressed too with the Great Depression in '29, huh? It lost its shirt on the stock market.
Yeah, now areas to our west, out south of Dallas-Fort Worth, especially Hillsboro, holds the Texas statewide record of snowfall, which is 26 inches, which occurred in Hillsboro and Hill County, which is 30, 40 miles south of Dallas-Fort Worth. So it was that same system that swept across East Texas and northern Louisiana that blanketed widespread heavy snow across much of our region.
And then they waited for the sun to come out to melt it.
Pretty much,
That's
yes.
what I thought,
Slowly but surely.
Shaker. All right, now in the winter, it's probably more likely for you to get freezing rain or sleet than snow, isn't it?
Yes, pretty much. The geography around here is pretty interesting because we've got a kind of a cluster of mountains across southeast Oklahoma and western Arkansas. They're called the Ouachita Mountains. I mean, they're not typical of the mountains you'd see, say, out east or out towards the west, Rocky Mountains or so. But these, typical elevations across the Ouachita's range generally from, say, 1,500 to as high as about 2,300 feet. But the cold air masses are generally shallow enough to where the mountains are to our north and northwest kind of dam the cold air, and so you get much colder air spilling out to the west, out towards Dallas, Fort Worth, and some of it will begin to bleed south into our area because of that damming effect or so, we're not really able to see a whole lot of frequencies of occurrences of snow here across much of North Louisiana. So more oftentimes than not, it's going to be in the way of freezing rain, occasionally some sleet. But, I mean, we do get snow, measurable snow, that is, once every 2 to 3 years here locally. Now, looking back at the last 30 years, we've gotten more than 1 inch of snow just about 25% of the time. So it's not a very frequent occurrence, but when it does occur here locally, because of the fact that our infrastructure just is not really able to handle all the snow and the ice here locally, it really does kind of paralyze our region.
Now put hot water out. That ought to take care of it.
If only it was that easy.
Yeah, that would be great. All right. So what's the hardest season to forecast for us?
Well, again, in my opinion, I think it's wintertime because of the damming effects of the Ouachita Mountains to our north. Because that'll often slow down the onset of the sub-freezing air. It also, it kind of limits the depth of the sub-freezing air, and so we'll oftentimes have a multitude of different winter precipitation types, that being snow, freezing rain, and sleet, all of which can quickly accumulate on trees, power lines, bridges, and overpasses, and cause problems for our area. Now we do have, it is very, very tough to forecast here, especially during the summertime months for these isolated showers and thunderstorms that develop during the day, and forecasting the heat, it has and humidity, and when we issue our heat advisories and excessive heat warnings, they all pose their own challenges in itself.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think winter is by far the toughest to forecast for, just because we're not really accustomed to seeing winter precipitation here.
If now with climate change, is that have you seen your climate get warmer?
Yes, in fact, looking back at temperatures since 1998, so that's 20 years, we've actually seen above or even much above normal temperatures for 19 of the last 20 years. And so far, we're kind of trending that way here as well, here in the 2018. So by far, there's something certainly going on, and we're actually seeing, a combination of more extreme heavy rainfall, flood events, and even in some cases, tornadoes. Now, we're not going to have the same number of tornadoes, of course, every year, but some years are going to be more active than others. But this year, for an example, here, and then also in last year and 2015 as well. So far in 2017, we've already accumulated for 29 tornadoes here across the Arklatex area that we serve.
2018, right?
Yeah, right here in 2018. Yeah,
Okay.
82 combined tornado warnings with 29 confirmed tornado reports. Now we've gotten multiple funnel cloud reports from storms that never did touch down as well. But it's been a very, very active severe weather season here locally.
Yeah. All right. So, and how many? Did you say how many you've released the tornado? You said 48 tornado warnings.
No. We've issued 80. We've issued 82 tornado warnings so far this year. And
That's above normal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's quite a bit above normal. I mean, I went back and looked at some, say, within the last several years or so. We issued a total of 91 tornado warnings last year in 2017, 78 back in 2016. But if you go back to 2015, we issued 103 tornado warnings. So to have 82 tornado warnings, and really that's through early morning hours on April the 14th. We've only issued one severe thunderstorm warning since then. It's been just that dull and dry here across the Arklatex here in just the last month. So you factor that in, and a good 4.5 months, and we've already almost matched our total from all of last year.
Do you have any fire dangers there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Now, 2011, the big drought year that we had, was by far our most active fire weather season here locally. We had, multiple 100 and 1,000+ acre fires, wildfires all across the region. It was just so hot and so dry.
Delightful.
We get a little bit of everything down here.
Oh, yeah. They're counting down. All right, we're back from that brilliant interval. Cut that out, please. Stop it. First of all, you want to talk about yourself for a moment, just briefly. Who does your hair, by the way?
No one.
He looks it.
It does.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. So, you got anything?
I thought we were going to talk about the thing. But
In a moment.
okay.
What thing? What's your name again? Gino ran for selectman in Littleton, Mass. Colorado voted you in. And
That's why I lost.
Unfortunately, you lost. Now, why did you lose?
I lose. I didn't lose. Actually, I came second.
Well, there's only 2 people.
That's right. But
I didn't finish last.
I put my point across.
What was it?
Well, Kelby, the platform was Littleton is the platform of mine. And that means the Littleton people, they don't have an ATM machine. That means anything that goes on at the town meeting should go on the ballot. Anything important.
Well, you mean transparency?
Transparency
I'm
is
sorry,
very
that's
important.
un-American.
Right.
Can't do that.
Which I went through. November, they're going to decide
Really?
whether they're going to have
We
a
got a
sewage
ballot?
treatment, whether they're going to have an increase for the school, or they're going to have another school, they're going to build a library,
A live
and
wire?
on and on and on.
Wait a minute. I'm going to eat, so don't give me sewage treatment, eh? Why do they always need something for the schools? I mean, seriously. You pay taxes even if you don't have kids.
Because the increase in Littleton is increased, like say for instance, like 250 family. That means every family has a kid or 2.
Well, help them to stop.
Yeah, I mentioned that, but that doesn't work.
They're not all Catholic, are they?
No,
Well,
they're Protestant.
Oh, well, in that case. Huh? What?
Otherwise, they'd be bigger family.
Yeah, they're Catholic. Look out, baby. All
That's
right,
it.
so now the Pope will be calling.
Right.
All right, from Rome, New York, evidently.
Right.
All right, so you're going to run again for anything?
Eventually, I'll leave it up to the people. That's it. The question is
Yeah,
right
so
now.
did Brutus do that.
Right,
I mean,
right,
Caesar,
right.
yeah.
All depends. People says, you are our voice. So I was trying to be their voice in the event that something goes wrong.
Well, but if you're their voice, why didn't they vote for you?
The question is, it was raining and it was cold, and a lot of elderly people did not have the opportunity to go out and
Sure,
vote.
blame it on the meteorologist here.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes,
They haven't got enough hair lost.
Right.
I don't buy that. Then they cannot complain if they didn't vote.
And it's difficult for the incumbent
Did I ask
to
you
lose.
anything, sir?
Yeah.
What was that?
The incumbent always has the advantage.
The advantage.
You had a
yes.
cucumber? Thank you.
Exactly.
Look that up on the.
Well, wait a minute.
Get out of your computer. Love the knees, by the way.
You like that? I paid extra.
Did you name them?
Harvey made
Left
a point.
and right.
Harvey Knee and Harvey Knee 2.
Yes.
Thank you. You have any kids there, Lorraine?
3.
3? You got 4 and 5 right there. All right. And don't wear a Speedo on this show. It's a family show. All right. So you bring the dog up. You have something to say, Pam?
No, thanks.
Okay, good. Gee, great, huh? All right, Mary, you got something to say?
Not at the moment.
Oh, you will later. Okay. Well, you shouldn't have said that. All right. What do you, and Lorraine?
Back to Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine. Well, give Lorraine a hand. All right, Lorraine. All right. Boy, is this moving along.
Littleton Historical Society has a great display on at their Historical Society,
This is Westford, buddy.
the roads of Littleton. So I'm sure that they all run right into Westford, so you can.
That's Route 110.
One of them.
Correct.
That would be one.
No, but it's right there, isn't it?
Yes,
On the left, heading west,
it is.
towards Littleton, Colorado.
Possibly.
Okay, so we did that. You want to bring up something?
Does mention
I brought it up.
We'll bring something else up. You haven't eaten yet. Go ahead. What do you want? Bring something up, Harvey. It's your big chance. What did you do when you were alive? I mean, what did you do when you were working?
You were alive.
With a sense of humor like that.
Of course. Who needs enemies?
I know.
What would you do?
He
You
was
were
a
in
very good
construction?
contractor.
I'm sorry?
Okay.
Hey, don't say that.
Yes.
You
And he just retired. And
I used to run Wrecking Hops in Westford.
You did?
Yes.
Talk to me, baby. I got a group.
Murray Hall.
No.
which is no longer with us. It's a parking lot now. It's across the street from what used to be the Murray Printing, which went along with the song that, you know, they tore down the building to make a parking lot, and now it is a parking lot. But we had a lot of fun in the 60s
You're going way back.
with
I was a
rock
mere
and roll.
child.
You're just a child.
Just a mere child.
We can't help that.
I was mere. No, so you had a group, or you don't have one now?
No, it wasn't a group. It was just I was a DJ.
Could you answer the I hate DJs.
Do you really?
They're all competitors.
How are you?
How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you.
doing
Your hands are
fine.
sweating, you know that?
Well, you know.
But it's the heat. Okay, so let's take a little thing here. You've in the news, there's been shootings at high schools, right?
Yeah,
This country has an appetite for this, apparently.
I guess
right?
so. People like to be, what would you call it? Somebody do something, they like to have somebody else doing it.
Copycat.
You know, they copy.
They're not copycats.
They are
You-
copycats.
Well, first of all, you watch TV or the movies for crying out loud, you know?
Copy.
And then on the news, let's show this to you for the 53rd time. But if you have a weak stomach, don't watch. Right? Okay, good. That's all.
Okay,
But that was,
may I continue, please?
I don't think so.
Okay, what I said is they are complaining because people are able to go to this school without being noticed or because there's not security. The question is, when you go in the airport, you know what I mean? They search you, and they should do the same thing. Anybody comes into
They
the
do
school.
that in some of those schools. They
But
have
they-
the,
well, not
the
all of
detector.
them. Not all of them.
Yeah,
They
but it's
should
only
all
usually
have
the bigger schools.
Right, and they should all have detectives, so they can be assured that nobody will go in with knife or guns or whatever.
What about if they had something stored? They make something and store it. This guy had stuff stored in Santa
Yeah,
Fe.
that is true. But
Santa Fe, Texas.
It is difficult with schools. You have too many accesses to the school. There are all
Yeah.
these doors,
But-
athletic events, people coming and going, and
They have to keep
but they
an eye
really
on it.
do need some kind of a metal detector or
Detector.
some
But they
kind
have
of
some of them somewhere.
They do. Some of the schools
No,
have them.
all of them, no. But all of them should have.
But there's a proposal. Yes, there's a proposal.
There's a proposal.
And I
and-
agree with that proposal.
I didn't even say what it was. How
But
can you
I-
agree? You're out of order. Oh, sorry. Sounds
So are
like
you.
Lorraine says that all the time.
Hey, I'm sweating my chops off here. Will you cut it out?
Have you got the air
Get the
conditioner
right-hander. No, they turned it off. Now, this thing about arming teachers. Okay, what is your opinion of that? Let's go to the lady first. Sorry. Yes, Nikki. What's your opinion on arming teachers? Thank you, Nikki.
Honestly, I'm of two mindsets. Teachers, maybe not, but there's a lot of out-of-work military veterans and
Yes.
the
what are you
like
saying?
that would benefit from having from a job like that, being there as an armed guard.
They has to be.
They'd be qualified.
They'd be more
Yeah, but
qualified
who's-
than a teacher
yeah,
who has
but they
not
have to
taken a
have
gun safety
guidelines.
course.
You go to a lot of these schools and they got this guy, do. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
You know?
They have that fellow, the one do.
Well, hey, that's better than what my
We're trying
school
to be
resource
serious.
officer ever
Harvey.
did. So.
Yes.
You're out. We're trying to be serious here, Harvey. Now,
Well,
cut
I
it.
know. I agree. And I agree with her that I think that ex-military, retired policemen, there are a lot of people that are qualified, that are licensed,
Yeah.
that are responsible, and a lot of people pick on a soft target, which is the school systems.
Yes.
And if they know that there's somewhere in that school system, there's someone who is
Patrolling with
armed
an
and
armed,
able to
use it.
Would
yeah.
you need more than one, though?
Yes.
I think so.
Thank you. The audience said yes. Thank you, Gracie.
But I mean, I'm sure that we have enough retired military personnel and
All right.
retired,
Why doesn't
police
somebody-
officers.
But to get somebody to do something, it's like pulling teeth.
It really is.
It's unbelievable. I think
The parties just
Yeah.
fight against each other.
It's like this now.
Nothing gets
It
done.
is.
I remember they used
Just
to
like
go,
that.
Yeah, it's like boom, boom. They have the gun emplacements in Congress, probably.
Yeah, they just ram their heads against each other and nobody does anything.
Well, but their heads are empty, so what's the difference?
Well, there is a group that would like to see this kind of thing happen because they want to do away with the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, time out, Kansas City.
Yeah,
Are you
that-
talking about the NRA?
No.
Not that they don't want to get rid of the
Right.
to have guns. They
Yeah.
want the right to have the guns.
Right, they do. It's the
But there is
NRA.
a group that is really
Against it.
using all of these things as
an
a
excuse.
way to say, well, see what's happening? We shouldn't really have guns.
Yeah.
Well, how? Oh gosh, I almost said the big word. How do you get a middle ground here, though? They just yell at each other and nothing gets done.
That's the problem. Is each side thinks that they're right, and nobody wants to actually acknowledge.
They didn't have to worry about getting reelected. They just do what they want. Okay, thank you very much. I'm so glad I brought you on. No, you're really intelligent. Now get out. Okay.
Well, aren't you
My heart
pleasant?
goes out to you, Lorraine. That's her, his wife. Okay, what do you have to say, sir?
Oh, it's my turn now.
Come on, we got 1:11 left in the final quarter.
What I have to say, my friend.
He's a special
Will you just say it?
I concur with the
Don't use
gentleman
big words.
and also with the young lady, and except with you that you don't know whether you want it or don't want
I
it.
didn't say that. I don't want teachers being armed.
But no, but qualified
that's what-
individual.
all right.
Qualified
Can
individual,
I
yes.
say I am the host? It says it right here.
Yeah.
No, it says
No,
Levi.
it doesn't.
And you're right or left? And you're right or left?
You know, I used to like you. Okay.
It's a lot of people who used to
I was
like
saying, teachers should not be armed. First of all, how do they know what the heck they're doing? And they might shoot. I didn't finish yet, Harvey. We're running out of time, Harvey. Look at that. How do you know? What about somebody wrestles the gun away from them? So then they have it.
Exactly.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
A good handshake.
But then there's the thing is, if you're going to arm teachers,
Yeah.
who's going to pay for the gun safety classes?
Right.
Cleveland. I don't know. All right.
Somebody already.
Can I finish here? We got 9 seconds.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, so we don't want to arm
It's
teachers,
been a real
right?
pleasure being here.
Knock it off. All right, we'll be back in a little over 2 weeks, 15 days, and maybe we'll have a guest that time rather than Harvey. All right, take it easy, everybody. Let's hear that music, baby. All right, keep waving, Harvey. Come on.
And so then it's dead, but Cohen is. And when it comes to weather, Cohen's smart. As New York as you get, his money's on the Mets, which goes to show that Ed's a Joe always bets his heart. You'll hear a slick review or two from Niki. And Cantor Something Berg will sing some song. There's weather news and shtick, enough to make you sick.